So during this time when you were living in Chambers Road and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden or the cancer failure shot or your book, where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was, and by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president. They're not a mean thing to say. I mean, he just thought that she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did. And so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. So if I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die? May 30th, 2015. Was it 2015 he died?
2015.
I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think that was.
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime is that and Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right. So, why did I have 2017 here?
That's when you left office, January of 2017.
Okay. But that's when Trump gets sworn in.
Right.
January.
Right. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And in 2017, Bo had passed, and this is personal. The genesis of the book and the title, Promise Me Dad, was I know you're all close with your sons and daughters, but Bo was like my right arm, and that was my left. These guys were a year and a day apart, and they could finish each other's sentences. And Bo, I used to go home on the train in the period that I was still in the Senate. Anyway, do you remember? There was not pressure. Bo knew how much I adored him. And maybe it sounds so, everybody knew how close we were. There was not anybody in the world who wondered whether or not. Anyway. And so.
Sir, I'm wondering if this is a good time to take a break briefly.
No, let me just keep going to get it done.
If it's not in the medical report, obviously it's not something that the president is dealing with. Well, I can tell you this. Just going back to Parkinson's for a little bit, so to give you some answers here, has the president been treated for Parkinson's? No. Is he being treated for Parkinson's? No, he's not. Is he taking medication for Parkinson's? No. So those are the things that I can give you full-blown answers on, but I'm not going to confirm a specialist, any specialist that comes to the White House out of privacy.
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's
too.
right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Nicole, I
much.
appreciate
It's great to have
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here. We'll have reaction and analysis to everything we just heard.
I can't sort of express, I think, the severity and the depth of what is about to transpire over the next week or two about Joe Biden. And there's going to be Democrats, every Democrat, asked about this. Would they have all known about the cancer diagnosis? No. But they were all complicit and aggressive in the cover-up of Joe Biden's health.
We spoke with more than 200 people, most of whom, almost all of whom, were Democrats, and almost all of whom wouldn't be honest with us or wouldn't be candid with us until after the election. Knowing then what I know now, I look back at my coverage during the Biden years, and I did cover some of these issues, but not enough. I look back on it with humility.
Did you really not have any idea that he was not fit to serve a second term?
Casey, we're looking forward. We have the largest Medicaid cut in front of us. We have the whole federal
you're
government
facing all
at
of this
risk.
because you lost a presidential election. And is
Look.
that not Joe Biden's responsibility for deciding to run again?
We're looking forward.
That's it?
That's it.
What I can say is that we're not looking backward. We're going to continue to look forward because at this moment, we've got real problems that need to be addressed on behalf of the American people.
MSNBC would prefer them to stay where they are. Here is Donna Edwards.
Well, in my view, what makes it different is that they are white South Africans. The president, in my view, has not hidden his racism behind a bushel. In fact, in his policies, whether it's removing government workers or, in this case, admitting white South Africans while denying refugee status, asylum seekers from other countries.
I want to talk about why this administration is giving refugee status to South African white Afrikaners as opposed to Afghans and Ukrainians and people of color. That's what I want.
What is up, you guys? Hello. Welcome to Monday Night Lights. I am your host, Keisha King Benton. We are live. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Twitter or X. We are live on YouTube. What is up to the chat? We have quite a bit to talk about. So we're talking about Joe Biden. He has cancer. It has been released that he has prostate cancer. It is quote aggressive and stage 4. So that is a huge deal. Like I feel like do we realize how big of a deal that is that this man was our president? He has stage 4 cancer. He was his condition, his mental condition was seen by everybody around the world that he was not well. But at the same time, nobody would say anything. The media would cover it up. So we're talking about that. And we're also talking about Trump has brought in the South African refugees because they are being targeted in their country. And the left is freaking out, which is crazy because you would think that they would love not illegals, but immigrants. They love the immigrants. They love immigrants so much that they will hide them, sneak them out a courtroom door. Okay, the amount of love that the left will show illegals, immigrants, it's insane. But the amount of love that we get as citizens, they don't have time for that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, really, you want us to actually show you what exactly? Like, what are we supposed to do for you? I mean, you only pay our salaries. You only, make sure that we actually have a job. But I mean, why should we be concerned with you? So the left has a problem with these refugees because they are white. They are continuing this idea that if you are white, you're bad. You're not good. You don't deserve to have any, you don't deserve, fair treatment in your country. I don't care if you've been there for 500-600 years, which is apparently how long these people have been in South Africa. They are, I think, originated from Holland. And so we even have some people on CNN saying, oh, you need to go back. Maybe you need to go back to where you came from. Anyway, we're going to get into all of that. Let's do a little housekeeping. So make sure you smash the like button, share this video out, because we want to grow the channel. We're growing. We're at like 8,000 subscribers now. Thank you guys so much. I can't, it's amazing. Thank you. Paul, I thought you were saying Keisha Killery. I'm like, wait, what did I do? What did I say? Hit the like button, share this video out, because we want people to watch the show. And please subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel so we can continue the growth. What we do over here, we want to stand on truth. We want to light the world with truth. There is so much deception. There is so much craziness going on in the world. When it comes to politics, it affects so many things in our lives. And what we aim to do is share the truth. We are a Christian. I am a Christian. I say we as if there's like a bunch of people behind the scenes, but it's not. It's just me. But I am a Christian, and this channel comes from a Christian ideology. We come from a Christian worldview, a biblical worldview, like not progressive Christian. Let me say a biblical worldview. Okay. We follow Christ and his teachings. Okay. You have to be clear, because some people get it twisted, as we will see. I don't know what kind of Christianity they're practicing, but we practice truth over here. Paul says, yes, Keisha Killery was saying that today. She says we need them to have babies. I saw that. She was saying that we need, what was she saying? What was she saying? She saw that the left needs to have more babies, or she wants these South Africans to have babies. I don't think that they want white people to have babies. I don't actually think that Hillary Clinton wants anybody to have babies. She's quite fond of Margaret Sanger. That's like her, her mentor, her, who she aspires to be like, so I don't think she likes the children very much. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Karen, I'm a Christian follower of Jesus. Well, welcome. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to our little corner of the internet over here. Okay, let's talk about Joe Biden. So the reason why this is so important, okay, first let's lay out the facts here. So he has recently, it has come out that he has stage 4 aggressive prostate cancer. Obviously, he was our president for 4 years. You don't get to stage 4 aggressive prostate cancer just out of the blue. So that didn't happen from November 5th to now. Like, this happened while he was president, which is why this is such a big deal, because we all saw his massive cognitive decline, where the mainstream media, the left, the Democrats, the communists, they were all trying to gaslight us and tell us that we were not seeing what we knew we were seeing. Like, even him just getting up and walking off of what's her face, Nicole Wallace's, I don't know, I can't stand her voice. Like, she is just so annoying to me. But anyway, just standing up and just walking off the show. Do I have that clip over here? Dang it. Hold on, I think I can grab it really quick. Let me see. I want to show you guys this. Here we go. Watch this. Like, this is crazy. He just, gets up and walks off. And then the media has literally told us, oh no, that's a cheap fake. Don't believe your lying eyes.
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's
too.
right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Nicole, I
much.
appreciate
It's great to have
it.
you. It's
Thank
great
you,
to have
thank
you.
you,
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here. We'll have reaction and analysis to everything we just heard. Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bill.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Stuff like that. We would literally see stuff like that, not one time, over and over and over again. And from Nicole Wallace, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, every major news network except for Fox News. I don't care if you don't like, this is just the truth. They lied and said that he was completely fine. And the reason why this is not just, well, some guy who's like the CEO of a company and they are hiding, even a CEO of a company, if they are hiding his health, and you are literally, people are depending on you for your leadership and stuff like that. Think about how important that is for a CEO of a company, let alone the United States of America. They're our president. This is crazy. And then it is, you really see how much a part of the cult the left is when you see people like Sunny Houston from The View talking about this. Let's listen to these crazy people.
Joe Biden didn't recognize George Clooney, one of the most recognizable men on the planet. And now that's not a presidential duty. It's not the job. You don't have to recognize George Clooney. But does that give you confidence that in the middle of the night, if China's about to attack us, there's a war breaking out in Iran, that he is the sharpest person to be able to handle that?
Which administration texted war plans to their brother?
The Trump, but it's just like
Joe Biden.
No, but do we just keep lowering the bar because Trump is bad? Nothing else is bad because Trump is bad? It's like, well, that can also be true.
Yeah, but the ship has sailed. It's out in the ocean somewhere with Biden.
We have Trump
it's over. Get over it.
No, we have Trump because you guys screwed this up. With all due respect.
All right, but does it help to just keep going over the same material about Biden over and over again?
I actually think we have Trump because the Trump administration, Trump lied to people. I think that's why we have.
Well, he won more votes. That is a fact.
I think he lied to his base. I think he told his base that they were going to, their overtime would not be taxed. That was a lie.
Actually, that's in the new tax bill. It's literally in the tax bill in Congress.
They had to fight to put that in. They had to fight to put that back in. He had every intention of taking away that.
That's not true. He ran on no tax on tips, and it's in the tax bill.
Yeah, but it wasn't in it originally.
So just a pause right there, like that, for her to accuse Trump of lying, then turn around and say, oh, the no taxes on overtime, that was a lie. And then Alyssa comes in and says, actually, no, that is in the Trump, that is in the business. Oh, but they had to push for it. So you mean you knew? Listen, this is how much these people are a part of the cult. You knew that you were lying because you knew that it was in there, because you said, oh no, they had to push for it to be in there. You are so dedicated to a party that you would sit in front of millions of people and lie through your teeth and say, he lied while you lie. That's crazy. Like, that is it's just unbelievable. The commitment. This further solidifies my theory that the Democrat Party is a cult. You have to be so committed to lies to get on TV and continue to tell people that the border is closed when it's wide open. To get on TV and say, Joe Biden is totally fine. He's completely fine. Everything is cool. Nothing to see here. And know that you were lying through your teeth. You have to be so committed to your cult to get in front of people and say, we love a Democrat process. That's why we're going to just install Kamala Harris. We don't need your votes. We don't need them. We're just going to install her and don't even question our commitment to democracy, because all for us, for Democrats, like, we just have to say the words and it's like magic. Like, we don't have to actually do the thing. We just have to say the words. And that's it. Jorge Colon says they are a cult. Yes, they are. Let's see. So if you guys want to support the channel, so I'll just be honest, I am not all the way familiar with like the super chat. I know there's a super chat, super stickers, and then there's also a goal thing on YouTube that you can hit that to support. So if you want to do that, please do. But yeah, anyway, back to what we were talking about. This is so important because who was actually running the country? Who was signing these bills? Who was signing these executive orders? Who was making deals with all of these other nations? Who ran the country? Because clearly Joe Biden was not doing it. You want us to believe that 81 million people voted for this guy. He is basically, to put it nicely, cognitively impaired. He gets into the White House, has access to everything, but we know that he's not riveting mentally there enough to run the country. So who was running it? And it shows you how much of a bullet that we dodged not electing Kamala Harris, because if she was not, she is so in the cult that she wouldn't even step out and say, and try to and do what was right, say what was right, and say, hey, listen, this is not right. And furthermore, why would you let your husband? You should be his protector when he is elderly, because there's quite a bit of a difference in age with them. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the chat. Hey, Rick Hempstead. What's the age difference between Biden and his wife, Joe and Jill? But I think there's a pretty significant age difference. And so you're younger, you see that he's not okay. You don't have enough decency, excuse me, to say, listen, honey, I know that you want to do this, but to fight for your husband. He should have been enjoying his grandchildren, living his life, not trying to, take one last stab at stealing our tax money and all the crimes and listen, we've had enough. We've had enough. But she was not a good wife. Why would you let your husband do this? This is truly elderly abuse. I said this long time ago. Let me read some of this is just like, it really makes me mad. Let me read some of these comments here. Let's see. Book 33. Oh, Paul says, so yes, that's right. Hillary Clinton said we need the illegals to have babies, not Americans. Yeah. She's trying to, I don't know. I think she thought that was some kind of an own or something. Like, no, it just sounds like you hate your country. That's not a flex, Hillary. You just sound like you hate Americans, which pretty much sounds like every other thing that you say. You're just confirming, validating what we already know, that you don't like us. Oh, so Jesus Loves You says that means he's been had cancer, probably when he first got into office. Probably. And the fact that they had these doctors who who um who was checking him and didn't bother to report to the American people that he wasn't well. Like this is a big deal. This is a big deal. It's like it feels like we just keep getting, smacked by the Democrats. And I mean, not in, I mean, smacked by lies, like these boulder of lies, like, oh, the border's not open. Smack. It's like, I see you. oh, Joe Biden's fit for president. Smack. I see you. Oh, Kamala's great. No, girl, we see you. Like, oh, we believe in democracy. No, y'all, it's like you're incapable of truth. You are literally incapable of telling the truth. These people are insane. Rick, thank you so much for the hold on one second. Why is this oh, here we go. Rick, thank you so much for the super chat. Always a great show at the Keisha King Show. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you. Let's see what else. Greetings from Fort Worth, Texas. Well, hey, Troy. How's Texas? Let's see. Paul says they've been lying to us for 7 years about his health. This was planned to get him in, knowing that they could control him. Yep. Alethea says the depraved extent to which the left will use and discard people shows they have no regard for anyone's humanity. Gosh, that is so well said that I'm going to read it again. The depraved extent to which the left will use and discard people shows they have no regard for anyone's humanity. Couldn't have said it better myself. So sick. Let's see. Book 33 says the allure was too great. The allure of being the shadow president. Just so he could have that by his name. That's how you know that these people really don't care. Because, when you are a true leader, when you are a true, when you truly are a servant, you have a servant's heart, you could not have taken that job. You couldn't have done it. Like your character wouldn't have let you do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there would have been something, if you were a true leader, if you were a true, had a true servant's heart, if you were a true man of God that he says he was, if that were really something that was really in you, you would have been able to run. And those moments are these crucial moments are the moments where when you're pressed, you see what you're really made of. A great example of that is Trump when he got shot. When he got shot, his natural instinct, was to get up, put his fist in the air and say, fight, fight, fight. That moment was so amazing. Like that's when you see what people are made of. Like when Joe Biden, when the pressure was on him, oh, Joe, you should run, da, 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 da. If he really cared about America, he would not have ran. He himself knew that you weren't up for this task. Gosh, these people are unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. All right, you guys. I had to talk about that because I think it is just so it's just It's astonishing that we had this in the United States of America, that we had a president who was literally, I mean, this is way worse than what's his name? Who was in the wheelchair? Forget his name right now. But not, it wasn't who was in the, what president was in the wheelchair and they didn't want to photograph him. This is way worse than that. This is way worse than Abbott. You know, this is way, I mean, like your mind, the very thing that you need to make decisions ain't working. Roosevelt, thank you, Rick. Yeah, when Roosevelt, FDR, he, you know, they didn't want to photograph him. He only wanted to be photographed from, you know, to make him not look weak. And here we got Joe Biden bumbling and fumbling around and, you know, making up words and walking off interviews. This is important. So I am curious to see like what else comes out about this. But I do want to show you the View, though. I want to show you a few more clips from the View and Sunny and them going at it, because you just realize how silly Sunny is.
Talk about. I definitely spoke out at our table that after the debate that President Biden should step down, but that if he ran, I would still vote for him. I voted for him the first time. I would have voted him. I voted for Vice President Harris the second time. But I do think one thing that really irks me on the left, and I don't really have a lot of faith in the right, so I'm not, you tend to criticize the people that you line up more, that you care more about, and that would be the Democrats for me. People lost trust in them because the voters were saying there was a concern. There were people across the board saying they had a concern. And the Democrats said, no, over here, look over here. They told the voters what to care about, and they did not listen when the voters said they cared. So these stories come out aren't about beating a dead horse. It's saying if they could have a fair conversation that we heard you, we saw it as they saw it, they'd be gaining some of the voters back to say, okay, we're not going to keep saying that.
You agree with that? No, I don't. I think that I want to move on from why the Democratic Party lost, and I want to hear from the Democratic Party about how we are going to take our country back and how what they are going to do to combat fascism and what they're going to do to stop the Medicaid cuts that are going on, to stop giving tax cuts to billionaires, to stop taking federal workers' pensions away, to stop taking federal jobs away, to stop taking education away, to stop attacking our institutions, to stopping, you know, why is this Trump administration stopping medical research, cancer? I want to talk about why this administration is giving refugee status to South African white Afrikaners as opposed to Afghans and Ukrainians and people of color. That's what I want to talk about. I think.
Oh my gosh, that lady is such a racist. She is such a racist. Like the idea that they would allow this type of racism on national TV is wild. That is so crazy to me. These people hate this country. They absolutely hate this country. That is not what we're about. That is not what we're about. And she has no problem getting up there and being like, yeah, we just don't want the white folks. We don't want the white folks. We just don't want it. We don't want them. But we cool on that. Yeah, she is rambling. Here's one thing I want to say. When they say, when the left says stuff like, oh, they're cutting Medicare and they're cutting this and they're cutting that. So I went and Googled, you know, because she's like, oh, they're cutting the cancer research. They're cutting the very thing, right? Yo, listen, this Trump administration is cutting the cancer research. So when you just Google that, all of the left's complaining and lies pops up on Google's first page. You have to really go and dig to find fair and balanced reporting on cuts. So I found some medical doctors and researchers and, you know, people who had another opinions, and actually these cuts are really good because they get rid of the waste and they help us to actually fund the things that, the research that we actually really want to do. We can put more money to those things. So while they say we're cutting, yes, they're cutting, but a cut doesn't always mean bad. And a cut, like the way that they phrase these things is to literally scare you. It's to scare you from not, to just blindly reject everything that you hear from the right. It's crazy. Paul says, Sunny shouts the loudest because her criminal husband who scammed the medical system with fake surgeries and false claims. She is a crooked racist, and I'm waiting for her time to come. Listen, you would think that she would be a little bit more humble considering she's got all this craziness going on, but no, she won't, she can't. But let's talk about these white South Africanas that she mentioned. People really do not want them here. It's just crazy.
And let's have a quick look at what's happening in South Africa. Here is a politician calling for white women, white children, and even their pets to be killed.
One of us will kill 5 white people, will kill their children, will kill their women, will kill anything.
And here is a politician leading a stadium full of people calling for, and I quote, shoot to kill the boer, kill the farmer.
Yeah. I think these people need our help. I'm sorry. Here's the thing that I will say about this, because I know y'all know I cannot stand illegal immigrants. I don't really want nobody coming over here right about now. But what? It was like a couple, like a handful, 40 people, 58 people, I think it was, or something like that. For people who were literally having their politicians tell stadiums full of people to kill them, I would say that is, you literally are a refugee. Like your government is trying to kill you. That's legit. But you know what these white South Afrikaners, you know what they didn't do? Despite being under the threat of these leaders who want to kill them, they didn't bum rush our border. They didn't come over here illegally. They didn't do that. You know what? They waited over there. Despite being under real threats, they waited over there. I have more respect for someone or people who did that than those who were not under any type of oppression or any type of, threats from their own country, just to come over here for a job and to totally disregard our laws for their benefits, disregard our people for themselves, coming over here waving their flags and not the American flag. These people were waving the American flag when they came over, and they came legally. I think that is, I can tip my hat to that. I do not like this idea that we will give so much room to people who will blatantly disrespect our laws, our borders, our people, but because they're brown, it's okay. And because these people, I mean, think about it. This is just right calling, this is just wrong being called right and right being called wrong, all based on skin color. This is sick. So because they're brown, they can't come over here. I'm sorry, because they're brown, they should stay even though they came illegally. And these people, because they're white, they can't come, even though they're under real threat, and they waited to come. We can't have those because they're white. Like, what type of foolishness is this? This group of people committed crimes. This group of people did not. Why isn't this group of people a better type of person that we want to come to America? We want the left's like, no, give us the criminals. Give us Barabbas. Give us the criminals. I won't understand it. I will not understand this. Listen to what these people are saying. Over here on PS Mogul on Instagram says, Dems would love a race war. I am so with you. I totally agree. He corrected me. He said it was 49 of South Africans. He also says 20 million illegals from over 100 million countries. Insane. Listen to this.
That allowed for a racial reconciliation, one that this country has yet to do. But South Africa did it, and they reformed their constitution. And part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back. That is not what the Afrikaners actually want to have happen, which are the white Africans, and so who are not originally from Africa, who colonized South Africa also. And so that is what they are saying is discrimination. Now, if the constitution in South Africa is discriminatory, they have their checks and balances in that land, just like we do. And that is for them to, so if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They are. They're leaving to come here.
No. They can
These refugees are coming here.
They can actually leave and go to where their native land is, which is probably Germany.
Are you against them coming here?
Holland, probably. Holland.
Are you against them coming here?
I'm against the hypocrisy of this administration.
No, that's not the question. The question is, are you against them coming here?
If there was actually a genocide happening.
She doesn't even believe that that they're under threat. Only because they're white, though. That's it. The only reason she doesn't believe is because they're white. Where is, let's see. There was a little bit more.
And let's have a quick look at what's happening in South Africa. Here is a politician calling for...
I showed y'all that one already. Sorry. Oh, listen to this lady.
MSNBC would prefer them to stay where they are. Here is Donna Edwards.
Well, in my view, what makes it different is that they are white South Africans. The president, in my view, has not hidden his racism behind a bushel. In fact, in his policies, whether it's removing government workers or, in this case, admitting white South Africans while denying refugee status, asylum seekers from other countries.
Yeah. They broke the law. I don't understand why is this hard to understand? The border was wide open and they bum rushed our country. They disregarded any law, any order, any respect. But yet the left just wants to focus on their skin color on national TV. Blatant racism. This stuff has got to stop. This is not going to end well for America. These people are sick. You cannot say these kinds of things and be totally in reality. This is why I say these people are in a cult, because this is not just within like it doesn't only just stay in the political space. Like there's churches saying this. I have a clip. I don't know which one. It's not that one. I had a clip here that there were people from the Episcopal Church like, oh no, we can't be a part of that. We can't be a part of having these white South Africans, come here. No, we can't. That's too far. Like, this is the church. Whatever happened to come as you are? We accept all people. Nope, not these folks. Alethea says, this is so demonic. These folks even look like the evil they push. They absolutely do. They get this look in their eye, and it's, you know whom they are of. It is crazy. But, well, that is what I have for you guys tonight. Just two really pressing topics for me. Like the race stuff in America is just getting out of control. And unfortunately, all these roads lead back to the Democrat Party. Even Joe Biden's cover up, again, back to the Democrat Party. This is why I say these people are a cult. There are so many participants who are completely committed to deceiving, to, to tearing everything down. These communists they don't build anything. They just continue to tear down, continue to divide us, continue to try and deceive us. And that is why we are here on the Keisha King Show. We are here to stand on the truth. So if you like this content, please like this video, share this video, subscribe if you have not already. I will see you guys throughout the week with some new videos. I have some updates on the Carmelo Anthony. I think I'm going to post. I got to do some more research on that one. There was a father that went down to the school because his son was given a tablet by a teacher to look at some inappropriate material. I'll have that for you tomorrow. We will, y'all know how I feel about that stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time and throughout the week. Bye-bye.